Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here as I continue to make my Cafe Bustelo before we get started. If you can hear me loud and clear, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. I'm actually drinking Cafe Bustelo Colombia. That's that strong coffee, just like Cafe Bustelo, but it's Colombia. All right, first trading day of the week. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. It's hot here in North Carolina. Joey, it was hot yesterday. It was way hot yesterday. I was gonna cook out, and I changed my mind. Alert didn't go. It just did. The alert, Akshaya just did. I just heard it on my iPad go out. So it looks like it did just go out, and Joey will confirm or not. But I sounded like the alert just went out. So good afternoon to everyone who is here. Thank you for joining us today and supporting the channel. A lot of stuff to talk about. I say that every live stream. I say it's a lot to talk about. Well, the market's sitting in a sideways channel. Tough. I ain't gonna lie. It's a tough time to try to make money in the market. So we try to present you with all of the best opportunities that we can. And then I think that it's important, like we did on Friday when we looked at the power hour, the stock analysis power hour, where we spent time specifically looking at your stocks, the stocks that you currently own, and what to do with them, because there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions about, what should I do with this stock? QXO. I don't know if we tracked that, but I'll QXO. I wrote it down. Tesla. Here we go again. I keep telling you all this every live stream. Don't give me the stocks yet until I ask for them, because I'm not going to remember them. All right. Please stop writing them down now. All right. Nobody wants to listen. That's all right. That's all right. I'm just letting you know. Just hold on. I will look at as many of your stocks as I possibly can, but it's based on the likes. For every 10 likes, we get to look at one of your stocks. I put that out there every live stream. For every 10 likes, we get one of your stocks. So the more likes we have, the more stocks I get to look for. And everybody who's apologizing is fine. Pneumatic says 20 push-ups. Man, if I had to make y'all do push-ups, it'd be 50. If I had to make y'all do push-ups, it'd be 50. 50. That's what it would be. It would be 5. I'm not doing this little Army 20 push-up thing. It would be Marine Corps 50 push-ups. All right. So I know there is a delay. So I got to keep that in mind sometimes. But there is a time for you to give me stocks. Just not yet. Give a like first before asking for stocks, says Dave. I like that idea. Where's my mouse? I like that idea that before you can give a stock, you know what we can do, and we haven't talked about this yet, but to get some of you guys to subscribe to the channel, I think that we're going to start, and something that I'm thinking about, well, I'll have to talk to the rest of the team first. I'm thinking about, in order for you to put a stock in or even to chat, that I'm going to make it a subscriber-only chat. Joey, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Having justice, and then the stocks will only be coming from subscribers. What do you think about that, Joey?
No, that's fine.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'm really thinking about that. So only people who will be able to put in stocks for me to look at would be people who have subscribed to the channel. Thinking about it. We'll talk about that today. We got a meeting today. All right. So as you can see in our color guard, I like to use the color guard in regards to what's going on with your stocks and how to manage your stocks. What's the predominant color we see? We see a lot of yellow, which means caution, which means tightening stops on the stocks that you own, being very careful about getting into new positions. Again, when we see a lot of red. Now, I look at today, we got 3 red bars across the top, which means the price of the composite, the RT, and the buy-to-sell ratio, all in the composite, are all down day over day and week over week. One day doesn't make a trend. So that's why I look at the yellow overall in the color guard as a means to say, If you own stocks right now, you should be tightening stops. Don't be afraid to take some off the table. Even if you take half off the table, don't be afraid to do that. All right, with all of the yellow in the color guard. Great idea, major power move, says Strange. I like that. I really do like the idea that to help to make sure that the people who get into us looking at your stocks, that you got to be a subscriber to the channel. And even if you're not a subscriber to the channel, you can still look, but you may not be able to put in your stocks. Wow. Mark says, I'm not subscribing to blackmail tactics. Good thing is I know Mark. Does anybody think that that's blackmail? Now that I got this, now that you got it started, Mark, does anybody think that's blackmail? All right, if you think it's blackmail, type a yes. If you don't think it's blackmail, type a no. All right, that's not blackmail. I mean, hell, I want you to be here. I want you to be a part of the conversation. Nothing wrong with saying you got to be a subscriber to the channel. All right. What does Almanac say? Wow. Nobody's asked me about my Almanac. Let's check that real quick. I got to find it. Joey, why even the last time you came in here, you changed around all the stuff on my desk. Now I can't find anything. I don't know where my Almanac is. Oh, there it is. I found it. Almanac. July 1st. First trading day in July, the S&P is up 30 of the last 34 years. Average gain about 0.5%. Very interesting. First trading day in July, the S&P is up 30 out of the last 34 years. Janice says, Almanac bullish today. See, a lot of y'all did pick up the Almanac. VectorVest gives us this Almanac every year. Everybody in the education department does get an Almanac every year, so interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. How do you subscribe? I'm a VectorVest subscriber. Bill, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be alerted to when new information comes out. So, Strange, stop. Don't spam. Don't spam, Strange. I know you're normally an Oracle person, all right, but don't spam. Just let me see it when I see it, and I got you. All right. New subscribers are always welcome. All right. So with that being said, let's talk about what news is moving today's market. All right. What news is out there starting the week off? And let's put me on stories. And here we go. We're going to start off. Oh, by the way, this is Independence Day week. So hopefully everybody's going to have a good Independence Day, 4th of July on the 4th, which is on Thursday, as you can see in the screen. All right. So Joey put that up there. He's going to take that off for me, I think, so we can see the story. Or you're going to leave it. I don't know which way you're going to go.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you were going to tell them, you're going to read it and tell them to
go. Go to the store. Independence Day sale. If you go to the merchandise store, as you see on the screen flashing across, go to www.vectorvest.com/VV store. Couple of little things that we do have new. We have canvases. You can take that off now, Joey, please. We do have canvases. This is a Western Wednesday canvas. We got some canvases up there that you might want to take a look at. As you can tell, the darker person up there is me. To the right of me is Todd Schaefer. To the left of me is Steve Chappell and our boss, Ray Clark. We took this picture for Western Wednesday and we put it onto a canvas. If you want to get that, that's on the store. 15% off. 15% off all the merchandise on the store. So, Island Malu, we're going to look at Nvidia. Nvidia is one of my stories today. So, why is the market doing what it's doing? Why is the market and we're going to look at a market timing graph in a second. Why is it just sitting in a channel? It's the back and forth. In my opinion, a lot of it is the back and forth between the Fed officials. Fed Williams remains confident the Fed getting inflation back to 2%, which means probably going to keep what's the word I'm looking for? Not inflation, but why do I have these moments? What's the word that I'm looking for that the Fed is monitoring? Not inflation, but interest rates. Goodness gracious. Stop, Strange. Interest rates, back and forth. Are we going to get a cut? Are we not going to get a cut? How many cuts we're going to get next year? Good morning, Deborah Ann. A lot of cuts. So it's a lot of that back and forth that keeps the market not understanding or not knowing which way it really wants to go. And markets don't like indecisiveness. Inflationosity is a better word. Thank you, John. If you actually listen to Glenn, you will learn something, and you need to be respectful and don't be here. Mark, stop harassing him. Amir, don't. Mark and I go back a long ways. So Mark does what he does, and he does it well. Mark does what he does, and he does it well, and it's nothing bad at all. All right, so back and forth with the Fed people. Oil, everybody knows that I did get back into oil. I got a profit target on oil of about $90. But here it is, oil prices lifted by summer demand hopes. I don't think it's going to be hopes. I think it's going to be summer demand. And I think that we're going to get some of the highest travel going on than any other year. All right, stop it, Dennis. We're not talking about him here. I'm just worried about the market this week. Well, the FOMC has their notes this Wednesday. So it's going to give some insight on which way the Fed is looking for the whole idea of whether or not they're going to cut interest rates. You know what I do want to look at? I am going to look at my CME tool, CME Fed Watch tool. And this is fluid. You know, the next FOMC meeting is in 30 days. Ease, 8%, no change, 91. And that is for the July. And a lot of people were thinking the next move, the next possible cut was going to be in September. Look at the difference. 63% ease, 36% no change. So right now, as of right now, as we look, probability of a cut looks like the first chance will be in September. November, ease, higher chances. December, much higher ease than no change. But looks like for July, which is in about 30 days when they come, no change. All right, so there we go. David, how do you find star search? The majority of the star search that we use is from the graphs, but we do have a search within the VectorVest system under the Pro Trader folder that you can bring up star search stocks. All right, that you can bring up star search stocks. So oil prices lifted by summer demands. Somebody was asking me about, do I think he's going to cut this year? Amir, I really don't think that we need a cut by way of the economy. I really don't think that we need a cut. I don't think the economy warrants that we need a cut. But if we do cut this year, I think it... Say again? Say again? Oh. So in my opinion, I don't think that we warrant a cut, but if we do cut, I think it will be a political thing. I think that it will be a political thing because we're in an election cycle. That's my 2 cents. The data, even though inflation is cooling, I don't think that it's at a point that the economy needs a cut just quite yet. So that's my 2 cents in regards to that. Nvidia, someone wanted to hear about Nvidia. I told you it was going to be one of my stories. Nvidia is in focus as Morgan Stanley boosts target on robust data. So now it's interesting that you looked at there's a boost coming from Morgan Stanley in regards to profitability, but Nvidia is falling. Hopefully a lot of you have taken your profits, some of those profits off the table, if not all. I got out of my NVDL, but because I was watching it by way of the star search, it got into the middle lane. And again, I like the star search. Somebody asked me a question about, do you like the star search more than you like the MPI? Well, if you watched the special presentation this week, I used the MPI. I like them both. I like the star search from the visualization perspective of being able to see when you're in the fast, the middle, and the slow lane. The MPI does a great job of triggering when you should be in and when you should be out. And if you're long-term, whether you should stay, even though the trigger gave you a point to get out. So they both serve great purposes. It all depends on you as an individual, what you like to see more. Pennywise says, yes, I've been seeing a lot of upgrades from analysts for Nvidia and MU, despite both dropping in recent days. Now, I'm going to highlight that because the stock's dropping in the recent days. Oh, I had to give that back to you. We had to fix that. All right, never mind, because I had to call you back, right? I think that it's not abnormal for the stocks to drop. Why? Because a lot of people, because a lot of people have made a lot of money in these stocks. Amir is asking me if it's buy time. Let the stock come to you. I let the stock come to you by way of when it gets back into the middle lane, when it gets back into the fast lane. I am not a fan of forcing you to try to get back into a stock until it's ready. How many of you are learning? I type a 1 in the room if you're learning to not force it and just let the stock come to you. Type a 1 in the room. How many of you are just too rambunctious and you just see an opportunity when the stock hits a level of support and you jump back into it? Type a 2 in the room. All right. Now, not to say that either one of you are wrong. I would like for the stock to work its way back to me before I pull the trigger, no matter how good I like the stock. I love Apple, but I'm not in love with Apple. I love Nvidia, but I'm not in love with Nvidia. I would like to make sure that the stock is doing what I want it to do before I buy. Now, someone said, well, then you like to buy high. Well, am I buying high or am I buying at a low opportunity before the stock goes higher? It all depends on how you look at it. Are you looking at the glass half empty or half full? For me, I want to make sure that the stock is on the move. And you may think that I'm buying it high. But if the stock is a good stock that's got good fundamentals, it is now rising. I'd rather, our mantra is have you buy safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price in a rising market. I think if you put that all together, you will be in a better position to consistently make money in the market. All right, so that's all I got to say. Now, for those of you who say, well, I'm going to get into it now, go for it. That's on you. That's on you. All right, so that is on Nvidia. Then we step up a little further. AI to help spur 15% additional gain in the second half of the year. Holy smokes. So now, for those people who are in the Nvidias, in the micros, and the AVGOs, and all of these tech companies with AI that are rocking and rolling, or that were rocking and rolling, I think that this gives you a better level of confidence that it's okay to wait for these stocks to go back up. All right, and it's a 15% additional gain. That's a lot of money that can be made. Clyde says you never chase, you buy during a breakout. That's what I'm doing with buying more alarm shares moving forward. I'm holding and waiting at the moment. And again, if your stock pulls back, don't be afraid to take some of that off the table and wait for a better buying opportunity to get. And lifestyle is right. Let the market come to you. That's something that I preach over and over and over. Sounds like the movie with Kevin Costner. One of your best lessons I learned from Glenn. Build it and they will come. That makes me go, Okay. All right, let's go to the next stock. Big story. How about this? Roaring Kitty reveals a stake in Chewy, big enough to make him the third largest investor in the pet retailer. Now, we all know that Roaring Kitty got a lot of money, and he can move a stock based upon how much money he puts into it. I don't know. Now, Chewy is, in my opinion, Chewy is a good stock. We're going to take a look at the graph. I think that he overhypes it. People are going to get in, make some money, and get out. And the people who are trying to hold it long term are going to get affected adversely, unless you've already got a stake that you're just padding what you've got. It's kind of interesting. Chewy took a big fall. And again, I'm all about social media. But sometimes I think some of does this now become a meme stock? I don't think so, but it could be looked at because of the person that's investing in it. All right, so I just be careful with Chewy. I think prior to him getting into it, I think it was doing well on its own. This may pull it back a little bit. A lot of people drive the stock's price up and take a lot bit out of it. So, and then here it is, another story. Chewy shares surge as meme stock influencer. And that's not where you want to be. You don't want to be looked at as a meme stock. But I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying that a meme stock influencer is pushing the stocks. He only owns, that makes him the third biggest owner, and he's only got 6.6% gain, stake in it. Next one, bad news for Boeing still. Boeing 737 loses pressure and drops 25,000 feet. That's a lot of feet to be dropping. That's enough for you to make poopy in your pants while you're in the plane. That's not what you want to have happen. All right? That's not good for Boeing. And it looks like for every time Boeing steps up or tries to do something, something sets them back a little bit more, a little more. And now I saw that there's some pressure to make Boeing accountable for some of their past faux pas. That the Department of Justice is going after them, which is also not going to be good for Boeing in and of itself. But the sale or the buying, Spirit shares rise as Boeing agrees to buy the supplier, Spirit, for $4.7 billion in all-stock deal. Now, when I looked at Spirit stock didn't look so pretty at all. Not at all. Not at all. So I don't know how this, I don't know who's this gonna, it'll most likely help Spirit. But I don't know if Boeing's investment in Spirit is enough to bypass all of the other bad stuff that's going on with Boeing. I'm with you, Lou. Boeing has too many problems. It does. Just keep your feet and knees together on the way down. Yeah, that's easier said than done, Pennywise. All right, that's easier said than done. All right. For all you Bitcoin people, you know how I feel about it. I'm not a big fan of Bitcoin, but if it gives you an opportunity to make money, I'll talk about it. But I also want to talk about what's going on in the background. Bitcoin continues to fall on a weekly basis as the spot BTC ETF's demand cools. Everybody was looking for the ETFs to get to be a piece and get a piece of Bitcoin. How many of you are still trading the Bitcoin ETFs, which gives you some exposure to Bitcoin at a much lower price? Type of one. How many of you are in some semblance of Bitcoin? I am not currently. I have on and off, gotten in and gotten back out. Totally not fully on board with Bitcoin. It does have some sparks in it. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. And Jazz says good dividend. And you know something? There's nothing wrong with trading a stock that may not be the greatest to get the dividend, as long as the price decline outweighs the dividend you're receiving for it. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. And there is one BITF that I did like. I think that was the best one that I like. What was that? Bitfarms? I think that was the one that I liked the most, or IBIT, one of the two. IBIT, it was one of the two. That if I'm going to play the space, that I would play the space with one of those two. Holding BTCFX, GBTC, and BITO. Got you, Tom. I own some Bitcoin, some actual Bitcoin, Phyllis. Some actual Bitcoin before the split, before the halving or not. It makes me too scared to fly. And it makes a lot of people scared. And, you know, I look at a lot of the stories that are coming out. I think a lot of people still have a bad taste in their mouths about Bitcoin still nonetheless. ETHS is better for the ETF. Do you know what ticker symbol it is? I don't think we track Ethereum as that, because that's Ethereum itself. We don't track coins. But I am, when the time comes, I'm waiting for the Ethereum ETFs to come out. They still haven't come out yet. Pennywise says, I used to jump out of planes while in the Army. Yeah, I didn't jump out of nothing. I was in the Marine Corps. My job was just to do what I do. I ain't jump out of that stuff. So SCOTUS rules on the immunity case. He's safe. Oh, is he really? All right. I'm not getting into that, but interesting. That was a big case that was being looked at this week. So Solana probably will come after Ethereum, Pennywise. All right. I was looking for that story, believe it or not. And thank you for that, Fitz. I appreciate that. Next story, a stock that I did a long time ago that I was heavy on, Tonex Pharmaceuticals, because it was for fibromyalgia. They were the only pharma company that was really actively going after fibromyalgia. And this is going to be something to revitalize this stock. Tonex Pharmaceutical secures a $34 million Department of Defense contract for antiviral program. This was a stock that I was heavy on a couple of years ago. I'm going to tell you now to put it on your radar. And actually, I may personally, I'm thinking about it. I'm going to take a look at the stock. It's probably a sell recommended stock, but I'm going to keep my eyes on it. I like the company, but as a pharma, they do all of the stuff and they need FDA approvals. If they don't get the FDA approvals, they're not going to make money. But this is going to be interesting. If nothing else, you heard it here. You heard it here first. I'm telling you to put Tonex on your watch list. Anybody trading, have traded for Tonex due to the content that I gave? Just type a yes. Any of you trading Tonex due to the content that I gave you? Just type a 1. Yes. You don't have to type anything else. Just type a 1 if you have. I know that I did for a while. It was tough stock. I liked the news on it. It just fizzled out. This could be good news, especially now they got money from a contract. So I'm just telling you to keep this on your watch list. Mark did. Vivi says yes. Mark did. It was a tough thing. I'm actually thinking about getting back into it based on this news. We'll take a look at the stock though. Another bio Inovio. Pharmaceuticals added to the Russell 2000 index effective July. Any lower, I can't say lower, but smaller cap bios that get put onto a major exchange is a big story. All right. They're already pink sheets for the most part. A lot of them are, but to be put onto a major index is a big story. Keep your eyes on INO as well. Keep your eyes, including the Russell 2000, as part of an annual reconstitution of the Russell stock indexes. This is going to be interesting. Being read it or read it. What the hell is that? Oh, re-added? Oh, what? Don't they should have put a dash there? Hey, anybody agree that they should have put a dash in here? All right, re-added to the Russell signifies the value of progress we have made recently and our commitment to the next level of our strategy, which includes plans to submit BLA, blah, 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 blah. I'm just telling you to keep, this is another stock. This is another stock that if nothing else, to keep on your watch list. All right, so there's all of that. Let's go back into the program. All of my indices today, what are they doing? They're actually turning from a mixed market. They're still a mixed market. The biggest mover to the downside, though, is the Russell 2000, down pushing 1%. People are getting out of the low. We're talking about the stock getting added to the IWM, but the IWM, people are getting out of it right now. The VIX is up almost about 1%, but I'm not worried about volatility yet. The time that I worry about volatility is when the VIX gets to a value of 20. We're not there yet. We're not there. Alex says Tesla is up 27%. So you all know, got to give a shout out to Ryan. Ryan's been on the Tesla train for the past couple of weeks. He's done stories on the robo-taxi, getting the ability to get FS3 full self-driving in China. Robots, a lot of things are stemming outside of the EV space. And I think Ryan picked up at the right time to start looking at Tesla in a bullish light, outside the fact that Tesla has been beaten up so much because of the price war with China. I'm going to add that. Let's go to my big news. I'm going to add that to my list today. I am going to add sell list. Deborah says TNXP 67. Sell list. TNXP is in my list. This is one of the two cells. The two cells in my list happen to be the bios. The two cells in the list happen to be the bios, but I'm going to add Tesla to the list because it is moving. But you know what I want to do? It's up 6 point. Somebody said it was up 27. Oh, TSLR. That's got to be leveraged. It's 2 times. Which means it should be 20% or so. If Tesla is up 10, no, Tesla is up 6, TSLR should be up 12, and it is. It's up 12. All right, remember, it's 2 times what Tesla does. Now, I want to real quick view the stock news on this. What's the news? 6.17%. Cracks 200 ahead of deliveries. What else is moving the stock? So there is some news. Q2 delivery, this is 2 hours ago. Expectations coming down but the key number might be energy storage. So I think that whether it's Ryan or I think when Tesla earnings come out, we are going to be doing a story on that. I'm back now due to what I've been hearing from Ryan and just in general. I did get into TSLL lifestyle on Friday. I was saying, you were up 27%. Way to go, Alex. Way to go. So I did get into TSLL. I think TSLR might have been a better play to be a little bit more aggressive because it's 2-time leverage, whereas the TSLL is 1.5 time. All right. Please give a stop on TSLL. All right. Let's do this. Let's give a stop. Tesla. I'll put all three. TSLL. I'm going to look at all three. This Tesla R, TSLL, and Tesla. Let's go take a look at that real quick. Put this on a 3-month graph. Wow, man. Star Search. Look at that. TSLR. Big open day today. Very little wick at the candle on good volume. Ooh-wee. That's a play right there. Good. Googly muggly. Gotta love that. Love a stock in the fast lane with rising volume. That means there's a lot of commitment behind the stock. UALL missed it. I'm not in UALL. I'm in USO. Tesla delivery number reporting tomorrow. Tesla earnings on 7/17. All right, so we got about 16 more days. Thank you, Jeff. I do, whichever day that is, Ryan or I will do most likely an earnings, a prelim earnings video on Tesla. Alice said he got into Tesla TSLR based on off Star Search. You know, that would have been your time. Look at that. Boom. Look at that, Alex. Closing price was $12.53. Look at it now, $15.66. Same thing with TSLL in the fast lane. Closing price $8.27. It's now $10.34. Let's go look at Tesla. All three of these, look at this, back and forth here, but look at this. Over a 187.35 and now 210. Love the Star Search. So for those people who ask me why I use the Star Search a little bit more than I use the MPI, this is exactly why. This is exactly why. All right, let's go look at the rest of the stocks in my list today. Put some 3-month graph. There's Nvidia. Again, as much as I may love, look at the relative value, say fundamentally sound in an uptrend overall from the, over the last 3 months. I'm not ready to get back into Nvidia the same way that we just talked about. Alex said about getting into a stock on Star Search. I'm waiting for Nvidia to get back in the fast lane before I pull the trigger on it. All right. Ryan says is up 108% on your Tesla Leap. Good googly moogly. That's a good play. All right. Next one in here, there's Tesla, there's TSL, Mag 7. AI could account for another 15% gain in the market. And right now, Mag 7 stocks, if you want to play just the Mag 7 stocks without having to hone in on any one particular stock, this is a good way to play it. This is an ETF that plays all the Mag 7 stocks. I like this. Look at the graph. Look at the story it's telling. Overall, no matter what happens with Nvidia, any of the stocks that are in the Mag 7, this is a good place. This is anybody playing the Mags, MAGS, anybody? I think that it's a more well-rounded way to play Magnificent Sevens without having to hone in on any one particular stock. I do like this. I like the move. And again, looking at it from a start, look at that right there. If you were trying to hold it longer term, right there, half off the table. And then boom, boom, put the other half back on the table. I love the Star Search. When did MAG start trading? Let's go put this on a 6-month graph, put it on a 1-year graph. Wow, it's been trading. Is it really been trading? Hold on. Wow. 5-year. There it is. When did we start looking at it? We started tracking on 5/15 of 2023. There you go, lifestyle coach. 515. Oh, that's on weekly. Let's go put this on end of day 6 years. End of day, and let's go back. Looks like the first trading day was 5/10 of 2023. 5/10 of 2023. I know, Strange. I already wrote it down. I know you enough. You're like family now. Oh, Strange. You're like my uncle that comes to the barbecue and burns all the meat. That's what you are right now, Strange. That you're like my uncle. That, hey there, Sonny. You don't know what you're cooking. Let me get. That's what you're like right now, Strange. So I already wrote down Oracle. I already wrote down Oracle. That's the way I look at you, Strange. I don't even know you, but I've known you enough that you're like my uncle that comes to the barbecue and burns up the meat. So, and don't look at that in a bad way. Don't look at that in a bad way. That is a statement of admiration. All right, that's what I look at that, Strange. That's a statement of admiration. All right. Let's go to the next stock. Let's go put this back on 3 months. Tesla, again, we looked at that already. US, there's oil. And Akshaya, I got into it, I think, almost by way of, I probably was, no. I got in by way of the Star Search. I haven't been in that long, but Star Search has given me that opportunity. Reminds me of Eddie Murphy bit. Yeah, I know. Gus, why you come over to my house every year and you burn the food? Why, Gus? And every year, Gus, your wife falls down the stairs. And why? Goonie Google. There you go. All right. So that was my Eddie Murphy. For those of you who know, you know. All right, let's go to the next one. Coin. Right now, it just got out of the slow lane and now in the middle lane. I'm not ready to touch coin yet. And no matter how anything is, I'm not ready to touch it yet. Chewy. Wow. See how Chewy was moving right along. And then Roaring Kitty comes in and jacks it up. Would I touch Chewy right now? Not yet. Right now, it's in the middle lane. Let it come to me. I like relative. Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe it's not as good a stock as I thought. Relative value and relative safety both below 1. Relative value, relative safety both below 1. Positive earnings growth. Positive sales growth. But still a speculative play. I hope Roaring Kitty didn't jack it up, but could it got jacked up worse? It was moving up. Was that an earnings play right here? Let's go find out. Yep, that was earnings. And it went up since earnings and didn't fade the gap. Goonie Google, Gus, that's true. Chewy is killing it on auto ship. Goonie Google, and I'm telling you, Eddie Murphy in his heyday was the funniest comedian ever. Boeing, look at the move with the Spirit news. Tried to get into the fast lane, but you know me, that looks a little Loch Nessy. I wouldn't take Boeing unless it's in the fast lane. I probably wouldn't take it long term because Boeing's got so much bad news coming out about it. It's just crazy. But Chewy now, you get kitty litter. You get, buy Chewy now, you get kitty litter. Holy smokes. Wow, Brian. I almost didn't want to laugh at that, but it's kind of funny. It is kind of funny. All right. You guys don't listen. I said, please don't give me stocks now. But you guys, it's all right. DNXP. I told you to keep this on your radar. I would definitely trade this off of Star Search. Let the stock come to you. I like the news on it, but let the stock come to you. Not a lot of movement here, not a lot of volume. But look at the volume today, even though it's negative, the volume is picking up based on the news. All right. Brian, what did you say, Brian? Buy Chewy now, you get kitty litter. Kitty litter or kitty later. INO, another pharmaceutical. Again, news that they got back onto the Russell 2000. I like the move, but I need to see more than that. I didn't. I just checked my VV mobile alert. You didn't what? You didn't get the alert? You should have got the alert. All right. So those are the stocks that made the news. Earnings this week, not much. I know the new quarter's about to start, but nothing about new stocks. I don't think we're going to do any earning stories this week on earning stocks. I'm now trying to work on this list for you, strong optionable picks. I got 6 stocks. I'm still working through this, so I want you to do your homework on these. I'm looking at stocks and I can do it by way of the Options Pro tool. The Options Pro tool, looking at stocks, you can see that. I did a scan in the Options Pro, top percent increase in option open interest over the last 20 days. I am working on this. I don't know how accurate this is as of yet. All right, but these are stocks, call options, big move in average open interest. Look at that, big moves in average open interest. And what strikes they're at, the $80 strike on Nike and blah, blah, and it's a $75 stock. So I'm looking at, I want you guys to write these down. These are all high open interest changes. All high, and they're all calls, all high open interest, and that gives you some semblance of an investor's thinking on the direction of the stock. I want you guys to write these down. It's 6 of them. All my option people out there, as these weeks go on, I'm going to continue putting stocks in here. You tell me how these work out. I did buy 3 of them. I did buy 3, not the options though. I bought the stocks. I don't know which. I think it was FedEx, FCX, and Pizza. Because of the change in the option, I put those into a portfolio that I manage. I'm going to keep my eyes on it. It was money that I didn't have to worry about losing if this didn't work out. But I want to keep my eyes. So that's going to be on Monday, strong optionable picks. I've been trying to figure out what I want to do in that folder. Now I might have something. We'll see how it works out. I know Nike's doing terrible as of late, but I think that from an option standpoint, people are jumping, and I don't know why yet. Bill. But these are stocks that I want you to do your homework on, especially all of my option people. All right, especially all of my option people. What time is it? Let me see. I got some picks for you this week. I got 3. Interesting that one of them is a sell. I run a search to get you these picks. I'd be careful with this one. I don't know about the other 2. Again, I didn't look these up or anything. I just ran them from my search. We'll see. That's a lot of freaking letters. Good. LLJIY. Big jump. I don't know if I would want you to take that. GB Global Blue. It was moving up. And the last one, I should have looked at these before I started the presentation today. This comes off of a search. All right. Theme stocks for the week. All right. So I started a new watch list called High CI NASDAQ 100 stocks. High CI NASDAQ 100 stocks. All double-digit earnings growth. I think that these are solid stocks, to include Nvidia. These are solid stocks that I want you guys to put onto your watch list. They're all optionable as well. All right. All of these companies consistently make money. The majority of these companies have RTs above 1, but all have VSTs above 1. And these are high CI stocks within the NASDAQ 100. What on earth is LQR? I don't know. I don't even know what it is. It's Liquor House. That's what it is. Oh, yeah. That's for liquor. It's business service advertising. Now that you look at that stock going forward, every time you see that, you're going to be like, yeah, Glenn said about the Liquor House. I have 3 of them in my portfolio, says Pennywise. And yeah, I do like this list. And I think I'm going to keep running these, especially since we just came back from the NASDAQ. I want to put some emphasis on some of those stocks in different ways to use it. But these are all high CI stocks out of the NASDAQ 100. All right. Now it's time for your picks. I already wrote down how many likes we got. 92. That gives you 10 stocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 stocks that I've written down over the time period. All right. Now, wow. If we get more likes after I type in these, I'll give you more. All right. QXO. Okay. Comma TSLA. We already looked at Tesla. I don't want to look at Tesla again. AMZN. Comma ALAR. Comma SMCI. Comma BDE. Comma, I don't want to do Tesla again. I said CAMT. Comma PLTR. Comma CLS. How many stocks? Yeah! SMCI. Comma BDE. Comma CAMT. What? Oh, that's the reason. We don't track BDE. Somebody gave me BDE. That's I don't track it. CAMT, comma PLTR, comma CLS. How many stocks is that? That is 7. We're at 10. I need 4 more stocks. Let's go back up. Palantir, I'm going to go LQR. I'll look at ANF. I need 4. ANF. Comma Kava. Comma APP. You down with APP? Yeah, you know me. AOSL. 10. So I'm giving you 11. There's my 11 stocks. All right. Here's my 11 stocks. Told y'all. See, if you put them in now and don't put them in early, then I get to put in your stocks that you're putting in now. See, you guys don't listen. But that's all right. You're going to learn. This is called tough love. All right, out of the stocks, I got 1 stock that's a sell. And that's the QXO. I don't know anything about them as well. Let's go over business software. Why is it a sell? It's not fundamental. It's a speculative play. It's got a CI of 1.46. That's interesting. Negative earnings and negative earnings growth. Negative earnings growth. So, oof. All right. Now, everybody keeps asking me to add more stocks. Again, you know how it works, right? You all know how it works. You wait until I ask you for the stocks, and then then that way I can put them in as you're typing them in instead of you guys giving me the stocks all early. And again, it's called the tough love. All right. Let's graph them all. Again, QXO could be the one that's hurting you. Let's go put these all on a 3-month graph. Abercrombie and Fitch, I do like the stock, but let the stock come to you. I loved it when it was in the fast lane. Then it got out. That would have been a good time right there. Anywhere between here to take the profits off the table. Someone's ringing the doorbell. Why even take stocks before you ask given mixed signals? I'm not giving mixed signals. I just get, it's the word I want to use. I don't want to say frustrated either. I just need you guys to understand when I ask for the stocks. That's it in a nutshell. I'm not giving mixed signals. Maybe ignore the early enter stocks. Maybe I'm going to start to do that. Maybe I'm going to start to ignore the stocks until I ask for them. All right, so I'll do it that way. I'll start doing it that way. All right, next stock. I'm not ready to take Abercrombie just quite yet. It is a buy recommendation. I'll let it get into the fast lane. CLS got back today into the fast lane. Lot of buying pressure. Let's go see if it stays here. I took a small position in ANF this AM. Again, you bought, in my opinion, you bought it early. Let's see if it works out. All right, let's see if it works out. Let's go to the next one. Ooh, CAMT looks good. You know what other stock I like? I'm going to show you what other stock I like. This wasn't in the list, but this is something that if you're not in it, you might want to consider it. FTAI. Sort of like a CAMT. That's a stock that I like. Anybody trading FTAI? Anybody trading in I look at that though. Bottom left, top right. That's a hell of a looking graph. That's a beautiful looking graph. Agitated is not a good word, Deborah. I didn't want to use agitated. Robert's in it. I like that play. When I saw Cam T, sort of reminded me of FTAI. I do like Cam T. This would have been a good opportunity to take half off the table or back here. Went back in, get back in, put that other half back in, out, put that other half back in. Guess what? You would have been locking in profits along the way. You would have been locking in profits along the way. Alarm, as much as I like the hype on the stock, man, that is a shooting star with follow through. Now, it's not in the slow lane yet, but a shooting star with follow through is probably a good sign to say, take some of that off the table. All right, take some of that off the table. Another one, somebody says bottom, if it's not bottom left to top right, I'm gonna say something about it, Dave. All right, is it? It is bottom left to top right, back into the green, back into the fast lane. FTAI looks a lot better than Zim. Even though Zim is bottom left, top right, little bit of a pullback here, but getting you back in now, that may not be a bad play. That may not be a bad play. That was a sneaky way for me to go look at Zim. Way to go, Dave. That was sneaky. That's what that was. That was sneaky. But you got it done. All right. Let's go to SMCI. I know, Amir, you're probably in the stock. I'm still saying, let the stock come to you. I do like the bounce off that Bollinger Band, but still in the middle lane. All right, FTAI, been in it since 4.5, up 41%. Way to go, Jeff. Amazon, back in the fast lane. Now, it had been in the fast lane, and this is why I like the visualization of Star Search. One day doesn't make a trend. That was Friday. And look at the rebound today. I love looking at the visualization behind what the heck is on here. Is that the stop price? I'm going to take that off for a second. I love the visualization. SMCI sell bullish, put spreads in a decent premium. Again, as I looked at SMCI, it's a tough. I don't like it. I think there's nothing more that I can say about it. I'm not liking it. Amazon is pushing 200. I think it gets there. All right. Wow. Hey, what? This is another one. Semiconductor space. Look at that. Pinch, break up. Pinch, break up. New high. Watch the volume though. You see the stock's price going up. Watch the volume. That is a bearish divergence. I just want you to be aware of that. I like the play though. Who gave me AOSL? I like that play. I can look up. Who gave me AOSL? Pennywise. It was Pennywise. All right. There are better trade setups than SMCI. Dave, I agree with you. But I know that I know Amir still holds it, I think. And I'm sure that there's other people out there still waiting for it to come back. All I'm saying is be careful. All right. I would rather have you in a stock that's doing well than have you in a stock that you're still praying about. That's the way I look at it. All right. Pennywise says AOSL makes GPU components for Nvidia. Anything that's attached to Nvidia is almost like printing money. App Lovin' in the fast lane. A little bit more volatile in the move. If you're not into more aggressive stocks, be careful. Stock is moving up though. And it's in the fast lane. A lot of buying pressure. May not be a bad play. Just be careful. The stock does have a lot of volatility. Kava, there's the trend. There's the sideways move on it. Very close to getting back in the fast lane. Very close to getting back in the fast lane. I think once it's back in the fast lane, you can get back into it. Let it come to you though. All right, let it come to you. Palantir. I'm not in Palantir right now, but it's in the fast lane again. Look at this. All these contracts, look at this over this last 1/3. And this is 3-month graph. It's been rising as opposed to 2/3 of the 3-month time period. It was falling. Palantir might be growing some sea legs. Palantir might be growing some sea legs, folks. You know, Might not be a bad play. It's pushing $26. The high that it hit in the most recent time was sitting at 26.57. I think it might be putting on its big boy pants. It might be putting in its big boy pants. It might take out that high. Would I get back into it, Glenn? I like it right now, Bill. I like it right now. I don't like the volume, though, but I like the play. Notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 3 weeks worth of time. 3 weeks worth of trading time. It spent more time in the fast lane than the middle lane. That's a positive sign. That's definitely, would I pull the trigger on it now? I'd look at 12 cents higher than today. I'm going to write that down. What was the other stock I said I was going to write down? Dang it, I didn't write it down. Anybody remember what stock I said I was going to write down? Dang it. I don't remember what it was. Somebody remembered. I said I was going to write it down. I'm looking at it from a personal standpoint. Somebody remembers. Somebody remembers. All right. Let's go to the next stock. Oof. QXO. Was it FTAI? I said I liked that stock. I don't think that was a stock that I was writing down, but FTAI, I do like. Stop it, John. Oh, by the way. Oh, AOSL? That was probably it. AOSL. All right. Full disclosure. Are you paying attention? You paying attention? Full disclosure. No, I didn't, John. Friday, I picked up 10 grand worth of XROF. Yes. Yes, I did. Full disclosure. All right. So you know me that, no, it wasn't Janice. Janice, you and Jazz, stop messing with me with that stock. Full disclosure. I did get 10 grand worth of XROF. So I think it was the UL news. I know, Jazz, I feel the same way. Oh, boy. It was the UL news. That was big news for XROF, that they got a UL approval. That's big news for XROF. So I jumped in on that news. We'll see. Well, now that we're talking about it, EXROF. 3 month. It's in the fast lane. A lot of selling pressure, though. It is in the fast lane. I got in on Friday. A lot of selling pressure, though, but it is in the fast lane. There's a symbol, EXROF. Better off to buy Palantir. I wrote Palantir down. I think I am going to pick up some Palantir. Wow, 2 million barrels a day. Yeah, I'm in USO as well. I am in USO. All right. I think that's all we had to do today. That was good. Some good stocks. QXO. I'm not, who gave me QXO? Are you messing with me? There's nothing good about it. Negative earnings growth. There's nothing that I saw that, 68, what's the value? $68 at a value of 1106. Should it being listening to you along, Bobby, I don't understand what you wrote. I think it was good. I'm not sure. My uranium went for something interesting about uranium. Uranium should definitely be on the rise with more commitment to countries globally. Joey, can you put me on the last screen? With more countries globally committing to nuclear energy. So I'm not sure what's the tie-up with uranium. I need to do a deeper dive on that. All right. Palantir from June 18th. Yes, uranium went up. Then I'm not sure that I understand, and it may not be for me to understand, but it seems like if there's more commitment coming into nuclear energy as a clean energy, which I think is one of the cleanest energies out there, it should be moving up. I think I'm going to do a deeper dive on that and try to come up with a story as to what's going on with uranium. Glenn, you should look into trading Palantir, Hood, and other low-price stocks with the wheel strategy. I don't know what the wheel strategy is. What the flying flip is the wheel strategy? I have no idea what that is. Boom, blam, bump. I'm halfway down. Boom, I know. My shoe. That, I'm telling you, that was probably one of the funniest stand-ups ever. That was one of the funniest. Goonie Google was one of the funniest stand-ups ever. AOSL. Yeah, I did write it down now. AOSL. All right. I'm done for today. I am putting out the 6 p.m. video tonight. It's going to be stocks for both the U.S. and the Canadian market. That's what I do every Monday. Make sure you tune in and watch it and invite people to those videos, especially in the Canadian market. You guys always complain we don't do enough Canadian stocks, but on Mondays, I give you my top picks for the U.S. and for the Canadian market. Scott, I'm not going to look at any other stocks. I got to go. I do. Will XLE follow USO? Oil is one thing. Or, energy handles all of that stuff. I don't know. I don't know if XLE will, unless more oil stocks move up. Somebody's talked about XOM. First Solar, I like Mujib. I didn't look at it today, but I do like First Solar. But it was news-driven as I liked it. It was definitely news-driven. Wheel strategy is you sell puts and sell calls and trade around the stock price. That sounds like more work than I need to do. So I don't know. All right. U.S. markets closed on Thursday. That's right. U.S. markets are closed on Thursday for the 4th of July, but we'll talk about that. Folks, don't forget to go to the store. What was it, Joey? www.vectorvest.com/VV store. All right. And again, for those people who may have come in late, we do have some new stuff on here. All right. This was a canvas of Western Wednesday with me, Todd Schaefer, Steve Chappell, and Ray Clark. All right. So it's a lot of cool new stuff on the store for the 4th of July, 15% off. No code needed. No code you need it. All right. No, there you go. Nope, no Glenn coupon, Glenn 20. Nope. Is that cowboy calendar? It ain't that kind of thing. Don't start, Jeff. Don't start, Jeff. Ramor, you're never late. All right. What do you have with Joey's pick at this particular point in time, Janice? We don't have anything with Joey's pick. I think that's by design. I don't think he wants everybody to see him unless you come out to an event. You like a Tampa 2-day. If you went to the Tampa 2-day, all of y'all got to meet Joey. All right, so there you go. All right, folks, I got to go. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii and all to all my peeps who are getting a lot of rain. Be careful. Odabu, bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. He doesn't need his own calendar.